Week 3 of Season 3 brings us to Battle 3 of the UPDL Season 3. Wouldn't you go and figure? This week, I will be facing off against Coach Guidance and the lovely Seoul Snorlaxes. As you can see right there on the flag, Snorlax is right about as round as that ball that you see there. Without further ado, let's get right on down into what Coach Guidance drafted here. Starting off with Latios. We've already fought the team that first picked Latios, so now we've got his sister, Latios. Latios is much the same, yet also quite different. A little bit more special bulk and a little less special attack makes the stat line a little bit different. And as far as move pools go, you trade out Luster Purge for Mist Ball, which lowers special attack, if I'm not mistaken, rather than Latios' special defense drop. You do not have access to any flip turn pivoting, but you do have access to Dazzling Gleam. This makes Latios a little bit happier to set up with a Calm Mind or an Agility and use a stored power set. Of course, access to Recover and Levitate keeps it pretty happy. All in all, with switching in and out and in and out. A solid signature move in Mist Ball that just got buffed to be a little bit better than Psychic in Gen 9. This one is feeling pretty happy and is definitely first pick worthy. Next up is Regieleki, and you know what this thing does? This thing, I mean, look at how fast he bounces. This is the ADHD Pokemon itself. It's running at lightning speeds, and that is all it's doing. It is hyper-focused on getting its job done, which is doing electric-type damage and maybe a little bit of speed control with Thunder Web. Electro Web, that one move. All in all, a pretty cool mon. I mean, it does one thing, and it does one thing really good, and that one thing is being really fast and using electric-type moves. There's almost no coverage on this thing. I think it gets, like, Bug and Rock as coverage, as well as Terra Blast for normal. This is, of course, a Terra banned Regieleki, because that thing would be a menace with Bolt Beam coverage. Regardless, a really good mon. 200 speed is not something to shake a stick at. No pseudo-wudo shakens here. This mon is fast, and it is really apt to pick up a reverse sweep if you let it. So you gotta really make sure that you bring your ground type into this team. Next up is Terapagos. Terapagos, now, we've got a small little fella here, but this is a much more monstrous Pokemon they may let on, with those beady little eyes, starstruck and all. This mon is a tank and a half. It's got access to pretty much every kind of boost it could want in the form of Calm Mind for its special attacking and special defense, and of course Rapid Spin, clearing hazards and giving it a little speed boost on the side. This mon has an incredible stat line, kind of like a beefier Rotom, if you want to think of it like that way. But what really makes it strong is that they put multi-scale on a bulky mon here. I mean, you get that first turn to press Calm Mind or Rapid Spin for effectively free, because you're going to be taking half damage no matter what with that Terra Shell ability. This lets you really set up or rest up and get it back again, and Chesto Berry. It makes recovery for this mon really easy. It makes setting up for this mon really easy. A pure normal type is, you know, it's not doing you the most favors, but you've got a good stab move. And talk about the move pool here to get my rambling back to a point. This thing gets just about every single type move it could want, and something good. I'm talking like Thunderball, Hydro Pump, Flamethrower, Dazzling Gleam. I'm pretty sure it gets Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, Terra Starstorm. I'm sure it gets like some kind of ice move. It does get Ice Beam, in fact. This mon can do pretty much all it could possibly want. It is a great bulky Rapid Spinner, and no one can take it away from that, can it, Pet Turtle? Next up is Mega Diancie. We've seen this fella before in previous seasons, and it's a really good mon. I mean, you've got Diamond Storm on there as a signature move, which lets you patch up some of those defenses you lose. You, of course, going from Mega Diancie, you go from an uber tank with an OK typing to a pretty darn good offensive typing sweeper with a blistering 110 speed tier, matching Latios in the back there, and pretty dang good offenses. And of course, the Magic Bounce ability is a really good mon. As we said, Diamond Storm, great signature move, 50% chance to sharply raise your defense, can really make you start to stick around. You can also use Body Press off of that for great coverage. Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast are packed there, as well as things like Earth Power and some other coverage. But this one is really great. It is, of course, a problem for my team if I want to set like Stealth Rocks or Sticky Webs with Annihilate or Charge Bug, respectively. And if you let it get like a Rock Polish off, your team might just get polished off like 6 cool beers in a nice freezer. Just one after the other, cracked on, open, all the juice out. Next up is Rabombi, another fairy type coming in, and you know what Rabombi does? You put that sash around its neck. It's already wearing it there in the GIF. Put the sash around its neck, you put up a sticky web, and then you start pressing Moonblast, Stun Spore, Encore, U-Turn, what have you. Shield Dust is a pretty nice ability, just protecting you from some extra effects. It's a great fast mon, speed control, 124 speed, and sticky web for even more speed control in the form of, you know, sticky web. Of course, fast pivots also always help, as well as some more offensive fairy presence. I'm never going to say no to another Dazzling Gleam, am I? Next up, Vaporeon. Now, Vaporeon is doing great here in that dex because it has access to Toxic still, making it really use that special bulk for all of its potential. This one, of course, is one of those stall monsters, though you don't really see it used all too much anymore. I think this one is something to worry about. It can tank pretty much any special hit that's not like a really strong Freeze Dry or Grass type attack. And it can really start to do some damage and spread some status with Toxic, Scald. I might even get Thunder Wave, I'm not 100% sure. But Toxic and Scald are all it needs. It, of course, gets Wish, Protect, and now in Gen 9 it gets Flip Turn, as well as holding on to Ice Beam to be able to threaten my Zygarde on something like Calm Mindset. All in all, it's a pretty versatile Pokemon for being an evolution. A couple of them fall a little flat. Sorry, don't flame me, but I don't think that Flareon's all that good. I do think that Vaporeon's a great draft pick, so kudos there. Orthworm, my goat, my beloved, my one and only, the Orth of my worm, the apple of my eye, the apple of my heart. He's the worm inside of it. I can't stop saying good things about Orthworm. I love this dude. I love this dude so much. Look at him. He's perfect. He's pristine. He's peak gaming. Yeah, that's about it for Orthworm. Scrafty! Now, honestly, I didn't prep for Scrafty in the slightest. We had a situation like this week one where I kind of didn't prep for Darmanitan in the slightest, and I realized it might have completely, like, bonked out my entire defense. Anywho, getting out of the stammering, this one really actually quite surprised me. It is got 115 in both defenses, which is a lot more than I thought. It is actually quite bulky. Of course, a quad weakness to Fairy isn't great, but this thing is Terra Steel and Terra Poison. So this can turn into a really solid, bulky piece. Of course, this thing also has great fighting and dark coverage. It's got like Power Up Punch, Close Combat, Drain Punch, Knockoff. I think it even got Sucker Punch on top of Bulk Up sets it can run. Shed Skin lets it use Rest without being really punished for it. It also lets it shed off a burn or like a paralysis, any kind of status you put on it. Real nice that is. And of course, Dragon Dance lets this thing kind of pull a cheeky sweep up with, I believe, max speed. It's not that fast, maybe 50 something speed tier, but with one Dragon Dance, it can beat base 110s, max invested into speed. So this is kind of a sneaky mod. It's got the bulk to get that D-Dance off, and then it's got the tools to really use that D-Dance. So good mod. I've got my eye on this guy now. Dusclops is one of my favorite NFEs. If we hadn't added the item clause in, I probably would have ended up drafting this goober. Even Chef, if you're going to talk smack about Dusclops, he is that guy. He is that guy in my heart. Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Sneak, Pain Split, Nightshade. I mean, he's taking slow, consistent progress. It's going to take an hour and a half to kill this thing if you don't get the Eviolite off of it, because those defenses are just unbelievable. Of course, reliable recovery is tough to come by with this guy. You only have Pain Split, which is situational, probably at worst. I think it's a little better than just situational. Definitely not situational at best. But going out of that tangent, you can spread some good status with this guy. You have a little bit of priority in Shadow Sneak, if I'm not mistaken, to kind of whittle off some 1% sash holders, sturdy enjoyers. And ultimately, he's just a good phaser. Trick Room as well lets you set up things like a lower speed tier Scrafty or Orthworm. He's a great support mon for a very low price point. I want to say this guy is maybe 3 or 4 points. I will put respect on your name, Dusclops. And it's not just because of how this replay went. Delphox is up next. 108 speed is honestly faster than I would have thought. I would have put this at like a Lucario where it looks fast, but it's a 90 base speed or like an 80 base speed. But no, this thing is pretty fast. It's got some pretty good special attack. This Delphox is, I believe, Terra Fire, Terra Water, and Terra Fairy. And it's just a darn good mon. A fast special attacker with two pretty solid offensive types in Psychic and, well, the better one being Fire. Of course, your Rock's weak, but that's okay. You've got a little bit of good utility. You can obviously Calm Mind up, Fire Blast up, some coverage that I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is a good mon. Really good mon. Snorlax, the titular of the Seoul Snorlaxes, of course. This mon is big, this mon is round, this mon is not easy to push around. This is another special wall. I feel like this team has got so many good specially defensive mons that if you're not packing solid physical attackers, you're gonna have a really hard time here. But Snorlax is a wall. He's got that Gen 1 move pool syndrome where he just has absolutely everything, and we saw very well in Season 1 and 2 what Snorlax could do with that. I mean, Season 1, that Whirlpool Chef set, second chef mention of the thing here, but goddamn, you can make this thing do a backflip if you really know how to make it work. I really like this mon. Tanky as all hell. Some great abilities and thick fat and immunity, which are both quite useful. Don't sleep on immunity. You're not getting toxic stalled by Gliscor here. Anywho, finally, we've got Miss Magius. We've got another ground immune Pokemon. This is our third one between Orthworm, Latias, and Miss Magius. We got a little bit of Levitate spam there. But this is a great spin blocker, and it's kind of just that Fluttermane light. I mean, you look at the stat distribution, it's just, what if we made Fluttermane, but it had like 10 more in its physical stats and like 30 less in its special stats. It's a great mon. Good coverage. You got like Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, and of course you just got great neutral coverage in Ghost Stab, which you gotta love. You have stuff like Memento, Perish Song, Destiny Bond, Thunderwave, and maybe even Defog and Nat decks. You're gonna have to really fact check me on that in the comments. But Miss Magius is a great piece for a pretty reasonable price as well. Obviously Steezy with that awesome wide-brimmed witch hat and cool flowy robe. You can't go wrong with any of that. And with that, that wraps up the Seoul Snorlaxes, and I'm going to get into what I prepared into this lovely team. Getting into my team. Our first mon joining us today will be Iron Bundle, ripping an Icicle Plate to pump up that freeze dry damage, the Quark Drive ability as he has no other choice, and you can see his Timid Nature boosting his speed with 252 special attack, 160 plus speed natures, and a little bit of HP to boot. Now, Iron Bundle is here to bring Flip Turn to the table, allowing me a pretty fast pivot, outspeeding literally everything outside of a boosted Latias or anything else, and Regieleki, of course, because nobody's outspeeding Regieleki, because Regieleki is Regielekiing all over the place. Freeze Dry is here because it's going to be hitting quite a nice amount of targets. Here it's going to be hitting Latias for super effective damage, which is really nice. Also hits Vaporeon for super effective damage, as well as Terra Water Delphox, which is pretty nice, as well as solid enough neutral damage everywhere else, of course boosted by 1.2 times with that Icicle Plate. Hydro Pump here can extinguish Delphox pre-Terra, as well as do slightly more stab damage with less resists, hitting Earthworm neutrally, hitting Diancie super effectively as well. Hydro Pump will always kill Mega Diancie if it hits. Taunt is here to just stop shenanigans. It can stop recovers and Calm Minds from Latias. It can stop probably something from Regieleki, boosts and shenanigans from Terrapagos, sticky webs from Mr. or Mrs. Ribombi. We are speed craft specifically to outspeed just Ribombi because it's not even worth thinking about Regieleki, so we're hitting about a 125 speed here with this guy. But yeah, this is just solid damage and some taunt disruption with pivots, so possibly we can taunt something to shut it down a little bit and pivot into somebody who can take care of it a little bit more. Here are a couple of offensive calculations in regards to Iron Bundle. Next up is Zygarde 50% coming back once again with a Misty Seed right there. That might be a little spoiler alert for what's coming later. Yeah, Galarian Weezing is going to be showing up. But we are running a full Misty Terrain support team here. We really don't want to get hit by a Stun Spore and Paralyzed. We don't want to get Will-O-Wisp by Miss Magius or Dusclops or Delphox. So I thought that bringing Misty Terrain would be really, really nice here. That Misty Seed also lets me be really, really bulky, all in all, underneath Misty Terrain. We are running Camouflage here in our first move slot, which is kind of funny. It's mainly to be able to just get rid of problems like Mega Diancie and Ice Beam, Vaporeon. We can flip our type match over to Fairy inside of a Misty Terrain scenario, and there are no poison types and only Earthworm as a steel type, which of course is kind of a problem, but if I can deal with Earthworm, I can kind of 1,000 arrows and E-speed my way through the world as I see fit. Coil is here to help me bulk up on my defensive side even more, as well as boost my attack accuracy. Not that I need that accuracy. Extreme Speed is lovely, reliable, +2 priority. You just can't go wrong with that. And of course, 1,000 arrows is perhaps one of the best moves ever set to the game. That ground type attack that can hit flying types and levitating types, of course. This helps me not get walled out by Latios, Mismagius, and good old Earthworm. Well, actually, Earthworm still walls me out. So what do you do about it? Regardless, Zygarde, good old Ziggy, he's back. He's ready to attack. Here's some calculations regarding offense and defense here. This is on the defense side, taking into account a fairy-type Zygarde, which is really, really funny. Mega Medicham is here. Yep, Mega Medicham is here. Ignore that. We are running Fake Out and Bullet Punch, the priority machine here. This is, of course, going to help me a lot with Regieleki, getting that Fake Out damage for free. Somebody say for free? Bullet Punch is going to annihilate Mega Diancie and Ribombee here, no matter what, pretty much. Ribombee can hold the Sash, but we can Fake Out the Sash, so that's that covered. Close Combat is always going to OHKO Earthworm. Terrapagos after Terra Shell is gone, I believe will kill if it's running any speed or special attack. If it is max HP, max defense, then it won't. And Trailblaze lets me just boost up past that 124 speed tier, if I'm not mistaken, so I can outspeed Ribombee, be a little happier, hit it with some, probably not a close combat as it's a quad resist, but we don't have to talk about that. This one, of course, does kind of fold to Pokemon like Ribombee, Mismagius, and Dusclops here, but in that case, we're just gonna swap them out. Looking at the stats there, last but not least, we have significant HP investment with 76 EVs, 252 attack EVs with the Nature to boot, and a little bit of speed sprinkled on top. Here are a couple of Mega Medicham calculations there. You can see that that non-defensive Mega Diancie is getting folded in half by a mere measly Bullet Punch, which is really nice calc to have on my side. Up next is Empoleon, making his debut this season, rocking a Wakan Berry. Now, this Wakan Berry is going to let him handily live any attack from a Regieleki, allowing him to like flip, turn, and pivot on it if we really need to get Defog off for whatever reason. So that's what that's there for. It also, of course, lets him live an electric type coverage attack from like Latios or Terrapagos or Delphox, Mismagius. There's a lot of mons that could potentially be running electric type attacks here, and I think it's good to have some insurance against that for good old Empoleon. Empoleon is here specifically for utility. You can see that reflected in the stat spread there. Just HP and a special defense as far as it'll take you. There is a legitimate blunder in that stat spread, though. I was toying around with the idea of a physical Empoleon here, and I didn't do that, but I didn't change the nature from minus special attack. So, whoops, that's a little bit of a team-building sin there. Regardless, we've got pivots, we've got hazard removal, we've got a little bit of stab damage, which will annihilate Mega Diancie as well as doing really good damage to Ribombee, and some recovery just for the culture so that we can continue to do our job as a lovely, bulky, slow pivot. Here are just a few calculations for what that Flash Cannon and Flip Turn can do. Surprisingly good damage to Delphox there. Next up, G-Weezy for Ziggy. My guy, this is going to be my defensive piece, my main physical defensive piece. That is 208 HP EVs, 172 defense with the nature, little bit of speed, just enough to outspeed Earthworm there by 1 point. I believe this outspeeds neutral non-speed invested Earthworm by a single point. We are running Misty Surge this weekend with an ejected pack. Kind of not at all going along with the Toxic Spikes there, but I decided that Toxic Spikes would be nice to have as just an assured way to get Terrapagos' Terra Shell down and like a Rabombi Sesh out of the way. So I thought I'd bring them and then just wait 4 to 5 turns for them to be actually useful, which you'll have to see how that game paid off in the long run. Clear Smog is going to help me deal with mons like Latios and Terrapagos, as well as maybe Rabombi if they decide to go for Quiver Dances, Dragon Dances, Auto, Scrafty. A lot of mons could potentially boost Sweep here, even Cursed Snorlax is a problem. So Clear Smog is just here to have a good way to haze that out. Overheat will always OHKO Earthworm. It allows me to pivot on it as well after setting up Misty Surge, and this is really aiming to set up that Zygarde that I have there. If I can use this to immediately get rid of Earthworm and then get Zygarde in on that Misty terrain, everything is just peachy. Memento is here filling my last slot, just giving hopefully a good opportunity for someone like Zygarde to sweep with a couple of Dragon Dance boosts, assuming that we can give him some free space to set up with that -2/-2 offenses. Here's a couple of calculations here. Alolan Persian, the Garfield themselves, running an Expert Belt. This is the 3rd week consecutively I'm running the Expert Belt. I am starting to love this item a lot. I'm seeing the pure vision. Well, I'm seeing what was meant to be. Parting Shot, knock off Toxic and Iron Tail. A little bit of damage and a lot of bit of utility here. Not full speed investment, just enough to outspeed that 110, so we're taking a little bit and saving it for HP and attack there. 136, 156. Parting Shot just lets me pivot around fastly as a nice mirror to that Empoleon. I can even bring in Empoleon to live a hit and then threaten something, slow pivot out. It just helps give my team some great momentum. Knockoff is great for Latios, Dusclops, Delphox, and Mismagius. It hits a lot of mons super effectively, so that Expert Belt is going to be putting in that 1.2 times multiplier work. And it also is like my only mon that can really deal with Dusclops, funnily enough. Every other mon has a pretty tough time with it, and the gambit here is that Alolan Persian just has to get that Eviolite off of Dusclops if it shows up. Of course, that is not at all what a gambit is, but that's the word we chose. Toxic helps me stall out some of those mons like Terrapagos or Snorlax. Of course, assuming that they're not Lumberry like we've seen that Terrapagos run, or Immunity. That is a valid ability that Snorlax can run. Also, of course, good for Dusclops, getting past those defenses and dealing that true damage. Vaporeon as well. And Scrafty, you know what? It's just good progress-making tool. Iron Tail is here because with an Expert Belt and a little bit of attack EVs, I can outspeed and OHKO that Mega Diancie, as long as it's not defensive. Of course, this is granted that we hit that 75% accuracy, but it is what it is. Here are a couple of Alolan Persian calculationes. And with that, let's get right on into my replay. Alright, okay, we're here. We have some things that we're actually quite happy to see here. No Terrapagos and no motherfucking Scrafty makes me happy. I like to see Dusclops here. I like to see whatever that big Fennekin is called. Alright, low-key, we kind of want to start with a fake out because I think that no matter what, I'm chilling with Dice Clay here. Yeah, with my Mega Medicham. I think that no matter what, like, even if I'm forced to swap with a Dusclops, it's fine. We can just battle it out. Regieleki coming out here is perfectly fine. We're going to Mega and just fake out, see what happens. They might be able to kill me with a Thunderbolt, but, like, Regieleki here is... I don't think it's that good because Zygarde just hard walls the hell out of it. There's, I guess I could get... Can I get E-speeded on? No, it's +3 priority. I don't play enough VGC to know that stuff by heart. Half of its health there is awesome. That's really awesome. We're gonna hard into Zygarde here for like a Volt Switch or literally like pretty much anything that Regieleki can throw at me here. Zygarde. I'm not looking for... No. We are looking for Regieleki. We know what's going on. I mean, like, yeah. You can hit me with Acrobatics. Or, what's it called? Ancient Power, which I do, in fact, resist. Yeah, it is, in fact, a gunshot. That gunshot wound is talking about the power of Mega Medicham, not the gunshot wound that I hypothetically want to inflict. Because I don't want anybody getting shot. Hot take. This is a pretty predictable move, but like, what do you do here? I can start to just like coil low-key. Or 1,000 Arrows is also good. Do I pop, I mean, getting like stun, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think we just coil here with relative ease. And we can start digging out. For Dusclops, we probably have to hard swap in Garfield, and then we can actually start taking care of it, because once that Eviolite is gone, like, those calcs become kind of nice. So right here, I think we just 1,000 Arrows no matter what. Orthworm, yeah, that's fine. That's pretty imaginable. It would be tough to get, what's it called? It would suck to get Shed-tailed on here, so I think we just go like here, and then we can kind of knock off whatever we want. I'm assuming that I live anything out of here from Earthworm. Even a Body Press here. This isn't a Terra Earthworm. I think Garfield just takes it in hand. We're playing fast here. Stealth Rocks are fine. We can deal with that. Here we can just knock off for pretty free. I don't think it'll kill in the slightest, but it might get rid of like a Citrus Berry. It might catch a Switch. I would love for pretty much anything to swap in here. Knock off, critting for not too much. Rocky Helmet coming out and a Body Press. Whoa! That hurts. That was, in fact, Fur Coat. Well, there was another crit. I literally missed this. Where is the crit? Oh, we both crit. Oh my goodness. Here we take out Warhol and we just... Yeah. That's easy enough, right? This Orthworm is like my biggest threat to Zygarde in all aspects. So we're just gonna overheat. We get that kill. Beautiful. And then we can probably just put out... Are you running Flip Turn? I think that Thank you, Claire. We're taking out Empoleon. We can see if we can defog here. We're of course not scared of any hazards. Or not hazards, but statuses. I'm waving my hands like a little idiot over here. Yes, it is in fact the Andrew team. This is like low-key fine. Getting Stun Spore doesn't even matter. I think we Flash Cannon first and then defog. Because I'd rather just get that damage. I mean, I'm not scared of your stab types in the slightest. Mystical Fire, I think you do get? Question mark? Not sure. We're feeling pretty good here. The Andrew squad is alright. It's tough to lose Andrew Garfield here. But... I mean, yeah, okay. Flash Cannon there. Breaking Sash is easy. This thing is gone. We just, oh, can we get Encore here? Hold on. Do you get... No, you don't get Encore. That is... Oh, wait, do you get Encore? Getting Taunted or Encored would kind of stink. Let's, take a quick peek under the hood here. Rabombi, do you get... You don't get Encore, you don't get Taunt. Alright, then we hit a pretty free defog here. Yep, that's great. That was just free damage into, what's it called here? Did I take the Wakan Berry off of this? I didn't. That's awesome. That means that I can pivot on a Regieleki for free and then bring out, I don't know who. Dealing with, okay, cool. Defog here. Okay, losing the, what's it called berry there? What is it? White herb? Empoleon smoking pack. We smoking that big white herb pack right out of your goddamn pockets. I'm sorry, Delphox. We're not running any good water stab here. We can just flip turn and see what your Terra looks like. A Calm Mind here is, of course, not the best thing. We love this. You took my Wakan Berry. I did legitimately consider, like, Terra Water Delphox could take my Wakan Berry here, and that would suck, like, hard. Pretty easily here, we can take out Iron Bundle and flip turn into, like, Warhol again. And then Memento on something, possibly. That might be good. I want to keep all of my priority in the back. You are Icicle Plate here. With another flip turn, can we reliably... Let's just think about this for a second. We're taking 56% from this Empoleon flip turn. Am I running any, do I know? Am I running any attack investment here? Hold on, let's take another little check. I was floating the idea around of running attack on Empoleon, but I didn't. Okay, good. I knew I didn't. I don't know how to check. 52 to 61% is calcing pretty easy on... What's it called? Oh my goodness, you know what I mean. Flip turning here, if you Terra Water, what do we end up doing? Just go into... I mean, we just get switch priority. Sandberg can eat a move. Can we just also come out here? Another overheat? Do we eat another overheat? Yeah. And then you don't want to take kind of any of this shit. Getting that Orthworm pick was nice. We get to make our move. We could also hit the fake out button. I think we'll just hit flip turn again. We'll do some pivot spamming. Because this is like a pretty free turn. No Vaporeon, also really awesome, seeing as I brought both of my water types. There's a lot of things that I was really worried about here. Dusclop seeing my Icicle Plate. Now I have to figure out how to actually deal with this thing. This is going to be, like, quite annoying. I think what we do here is just start stacking some spikes up. I think that makes us pretty happy. This is, like, my only way to get Toxic onto the field, and it's really funny. But ideally, if we can get some time to get, like, one or two, like, a skill swap, that's, like, I'm alright with that. I don't know what the hell is happening, but I'm very happy about it. More Toxic Spikes. I get taunted. That's, like, kind of annoying, low-key. But do we want to just hard swap here into, like, the Jackson gang? Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo. It sure is here. What do we take here? Do we take you out and just try to, like, fish damage with Hydro Pump? I honestly don't have a good way of getting this dead without Garfield's Toxic, so these spikes need to be able to, like, stay up. I honestly don't think Iron Bundle minds too much about getting, like, burned. Do you get Thunder Wave? That could be the problem here. Dusclops gets... Yeah. No, you don't get Thunder Wave. You just get Willow for I guess Toxic wouldn't be great, but we take you out here. That's fine. We are also on Misty Terrain, so that's even more fine. We're just going to hit the taunt here because we're feeling pretty safe here. Big Draft Gaming. All statuses go. This is really good terrain support for a lot of my team who just does not like getting status. Which, I mean, like, what Pokemon likes getting status? I'm really energetic today. I don't know if my content here, you know what I'm talking about. Nightshade, sure, that's fine. This thing just needs to, like, get I don't know what I even need to do. Just start, I need, like, flip turn, overheat. This thing does not have good recovery, so I just gotta, like, break it down slowly. Nightshade, we do... I hope we outspeed here. Do we see this already? Take a little bit of that. A burn would be fine here, except I literally can't. Taunt ended. Now we just... Oh, we don't even want a memento on this, though. That's the only issue. So... Because Nightshade does absolute damage. You have... Does Nightshade do 31%? Does it do 31% of my health? Wait. Equal to the level. So I'm doing... I can live a couple of those. And I can gain, like... What? In 3 turns I can gain... +3 and maybe kill? Hold on. We're having a funny time here. Do we want to... This is really funny. This is a hilarious game no matter what. I think we're going to hard swap here, take a flash cannon out just for some damage. Of course, losing my, like, hazard removal sucks, but I have enough priority that I think I can just make it work if I keep you in the back alive, hopefully. So we'll take you out. We'll take the Nightshade like a champ, right? Good. Because then we can just get some extra chip to ensure that Zygarde will kill after a couple of Bingloots and Blops. 1, 2, that's fine. I'm gonna feed this thing up. The Dusclops streets are getting fed today. Alright. We do have a turn of Misty Terrain up to do the funny, but I think we just gotta start stacking some boosts because, like, that's how it is. Will-O-Wisp, of course, here. Actually, no. I need to take the 2-hit KO here. A Pain Split would really suck, but we know it doesn't have that. Getting Misty Surge would be really funny here. Still can't get Willowed, so hopefully 1. That's not necessarily enough. I low-key have to swap you back out just so that Sandbird can't get burned. I think I can still win this as long as we do good enough. Yep, so that happens, and then I can overheat again, but, like, not really, I don't want to. This is still counting with Eviolite, yeah. I get 5 hits with this, hypothetically, assuming I'm assuming max HP. We take, the coils now. Yeah, the Misty Terrain was a really good bring here. Get that defense, not that the defense matters because you're doing true damage, but hopefully we can just kill with, like, 1 attack here, and then we can really start pumping out, why is my Misty... Oh, I already used my Misty Seed. Thank fucking God that thing is gone. Now we also have these beautiful Toxic Spikes up, and I can just start, Prio spamming with, Rabombi just straight up dies here. Like, you just fold to extreme speed, so that's grand. So, no sticky webs to deal with anymore. We're really digging that. I need a sip of water. I'm talking too much. My mouth is getting dry. Whew. I really appreciate the fact that this match is not taking 18 years. Diancie here coming in. I could just press 1,000 arrows here. I could also try and hit my tech. Because realistically... Realistically, I could just take the chip. I wish I could get away with the camouflage here. You're probably not gonna try to set anything up, but if you do, I think this is what we have to do. Yep, we just let Zygarde go down. That is perfectly fine. Bundle could come in and press Hydro Pump, or presumably I can just straight up delete this thing with... Can I really nearly kill this thing with, holy shit. Presumably, if I just keep... If I miss this Hydro Pump, I will die. And that's tough. So why don't we just take the Fake Out? Fake Out is, like, guaranteed a whole bunch of damage here. And then if you want to swap to Regieleki, assuming a Bullet Punch, you die. And then I have Warhol the Sack in the back, and then it's just going to come down to... I'm assuming that you don't die to... Oh, you die to Flip Turn, possibly? So if I have that... Oh, and some toxic damage on it, question mark, potentially. Alright. We take this out. We just get the fake out chip for... Or do we want to just take the bull? No. The fake out is literally free damage here. Fake out. Bam. You flinch. Toxic. Yup. Bullet punch. I could also trailblaze, but you're going to outspeed me and kill me with Moonblast. So we just... bullet punch. Dead. Beautiful. This Regieleki isn't feeling grand. The question is, this damage of... the toxic spikes is going to get denied. Or rather, I'm not going to be able to get it on the next mon if I take out Galarian Weezing. We can just bring out Warhol here. You get the Rapid Spin off if you want. Whatever works. Volt Switch. Actually, do I live a Volt Switch on Galarian Weezing? No, okay, this is going to be death. Death, that's fine. Rapid Spin, literally whatever, I don't care. Yeah, good. Fake Out's just gonna kill here, or at least it should. Of course, you can swap to... Do you die to a Mega Medicham Fake Out? No, but you die to a Fake Out Plus. So, hypothetically, I might just end up sacking Iron Bungulus. Mega Medicham Gaming is going very hard here. Extreme Speed... could be a problem? I don't know. I have some HP. No, it's probably not. I'm sorry, King. But I got a Prio Spam. We just Bullet Punch here. And then we sack Iron Bundle to the Regieleki, and that's kind of that. Terra Fairy, it ain't that. Mega Medicham really cleaning up with this combo of moves here. Thunder Cage into you is just fine with toxic damage and all this. Holy crap. Fastest 30 turns I've ever played. So yeah. I mean, I think we might know how this one ends. I really like your team, Coach Guidance, Coach Michael. I can see like so many of those little parts and the ways that they connect. It's a well planned out team. Regieleki, Terra, Delphox, Mega Diancie. There's just a lot of good stuff here. I think if you had brought Scrafty and Terrapagos, my ass would have gotten grassed. Like, I prepped for those. I didn't prep for Scrafty nearly enough. I'm gonna give you 1 million handshake. Whoa, that was a blitz. That match took no more than 20 minutes. We were going at like more than a turn per minute when some of these ones are big thinkers, but whoo-wee! I really like that match. I had some stupid fucking cooks on my team. God, I love this game so much. Thank you for giving a good sold to the man in the red shirt and panties underneath his shirt that you can't see. I'm losing my mind. Good match. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope that you all in the crowd there enjoyed as well. Peace be with you. Bye bye.